What are your name and pronouns?
I am Skylar Astra, and my pronouns are he, him.
And how do you identify?
I am a trans male, female to male, yes.
Got you. Okay. And can you tell me a bit about your VTuber model or persona?
Yeah, okay, it's kind of funny because I used to be a demon, kind of femboyish like, which I was comfortable with, but at the same time I wasn't, because since it was so feminine looking, I got a lot of misconceptions and a lot of people to correct about my pronouns all the time. I did got that model because the person who did the model for me was a friend, and they recommended me to have a model that matches my voice a lot more than if I get like a beefy model, you know? And I was like, yeah, you know what, that makes sense. I might go ahead and do that. And I started with that model, which at the beginning I was okay with correcting people. And over past of the months, I was like, well, this is getting uncomfortable. I don't really like this. Plus, demons haven't been my force or favorite thing ever. Not offense to any demons
No shame
out
in
there.
that.
Yes. But I was kind of slightly getting uncomfortable on my own model, which I wasn't happy about. And after a year, I will say like 10 months, 11 months of Vtubing, I decided to go ahead and kind of like not defeat the entire model away, but like to change it to something I was more comfortable with. And that's how I ended up being a fox, a fennec fox specifically, because they are super
So
hyper.
cute, by the way. They're so
Thank you.
adorable. Oh,
They're super hyper, and I love that, and they are full of energy. And since I'm always trying to be like hyper and positive about everything, I thought it would be a good idea to go with that. And then I recycled the colors because again, they are not my favorite colors, but I really like that they kinda resemble the same trans colors. And I use that as a you know, kind of like anoism to like whatever I'm going with. And a couple of more details I added from my old model to this one, and I added new stuff that I related more, like the tattoos and the long hair and the braids and stuff like that. But like mostly, yeah, that's why.
That's really cool. I remembered you being a demon before, so I was like, there's a wolf now. Like it was like a wolf, but it was a fennec fox. I'm a dum dum. I didn't realize that was what that was a fennec fox, because I didn't know what a fennec fox was. So until I started seeing multiple more fennec fox VTubers, and I was like, oh, that's a fennec fox. And they're actually so cute.
Yours is my favorite thing.
And the best part about fennec fox like VTubers is like you can like rig your ears to have so much flick to them, and they go up and down a lot. It's so cute. Anyway, so what drew you to VTubing, and do you find it rewarding?
I didn't really need it VTuber as an income base hobby, to say it like that. I started doing it because I really like playing with more people, and I enjoy like sharing my favorite stuff and like the stuff I like to with friends and stuff like that. But I was never confident on my looks, so being a YouTuber was a big no-no. So a friend of mine shared this VTuber characters that started like at the ending of 2021. And then I was like, well, that's kind of fun. I wish I had like the opportunity to do something like that. And they were like, well, you can. And I'm like, what? And I started like VTubing. I did my Twitter. I wasn't even acclimatized to like social medias or Discord or Twitter or anything like that. So I had to start from zero with those stuff. But yeah, no, it's I'm using it, I guess, more as a hobby and as a way to like connect with more people. I never have seen VTuber as a ladder or something like that I have to like go to the top or like be the best or anything like that. I'm just doing my little stuff, you know, having fun here, playing with people there, having collabs, playing, I don't know, solo games that I want to share with other people. I have my community that I watch stuff with, and you know, I like it like that way. I don't like, it's not that I'm not competitive, but like I'd rather be on my own pace, you know?
Yeah, no, it's understandable. There's a lot of expectations in the VTuber community to, you know, do this first or do that next, or, you know, do this within this certain amount of time. But the reality is everyone goes at their own pace, and it's kind of dumb to just expect everyone to just follow this formula, right? And you end up putting these expectations on yourself, and it's just not worth it. I think it's kind of what I was experiencing in my first year, and how we talked about, you know, the first year being really rough. I think it's part of it is people just trying to meet expectations too much, and then not realizing that it really isn't that deep. It really is not that deep. So I think that's yes, exactly. Take your time. Fuck everyone else. Well, maybe not fuck them, but, you know, fuck everyone else.
I mean,
hey! You and me both here. Come on. I think I've also got like Hey, I mean, I've gone more to the lewd side since I started, to be fair. I can't judge. Yeah, I know. It's okay. It's not a bad thing. It's what makes you comfortable, you know? And so, I forgot to ask this question, but how did you ensure that your model represented you?
well, the first model, again, it was kind of a whole idea a friend put together to help me out to get, you know, out there. But the second model, I actually took my time to like get details, get stuff that I got represented with. Again, stuff like the tattoo that my model has is because I do have a tattoo in my arm in the same spot, on the opposite arm.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Tattoo haver.
The long hair, because I really like the long hair. I have always rocked the long hair. The braids, because I really like them. The moon, because despite being super active and super, you know, positive and everything, I do relate to the moon and to the stars and to the calm of the night sometimes. So yeah, I'm again, I don't put a lot of like thinking behind a lot of stuff, but I do like to add my own little details here and there that actually represent me or like make my model slightly unique compared to a lot of other VTubers out there without being overly, full. Which again, I don't mind because like I love details VTubers. Those are amazing. Oh god, chef kiss. But for my own sanity, I try to keep it simple because again, I don't want to be overcomplicated because again, I'm doing this as a hobby and I like to portray that simple and take it easy kind of way to go.
Yeah. So that's not a bad thing, you know? It's okay to have simple designs, okay to have complicated designs, you know, do what's, you know, best for you and your needs, you know? Again, there's these expectations and you don't need to follow the expectations. It's okay. No one's gonna shank you for it. Well, some people might, but they don't matter. Who cares about them? You know? Yeah, fuck them, but don't fuck them. They don't deserve that.
Absolutely not.
So could you share some of the highs and lows of your journey being transgender in the VTubing space?
Oh, that's a funny one. So when I started, I got a lot of, again, my voice is not the most, I would like it to be. I'm rocking it somehow. And I consider it's pretty ambiguous to say something. But I did had a couple of bad experiences at the beginning with how my model looked and, you know, people just DMing me absolute dick pictures on the non-literally and the literally way.
Gross.
Yeah. So it was kind of like a trip because I am not really the person to, you know, do call out posts and shit like that, but it was like kind of weird. I got a lot of supposedly friends who once discovered I was trans, they actually retweeted. Because at the beginning they flew away, they blocked me, or like
so they started treating you like shit because of it.
Yeah, or like their treatment absolutely changed after knowing that I didn't have dick.
The fucking weirdos.
I know, right? It was because at the beginning I didn't have like the flag, the trans flag, or like I didn't openly said. Because on my previous online persona, I never did that. I always being a man, and you know what? I'm just gonna say I'm a man. I don't have to specify that I'm a trans man sometimes.
Yes, exactly. It's a fucking stupid expectation.
Exactly. So I was like, why do I have?
You sex, so why do you care?
Exactly. So at the beginning, I didn't even bother to like explain that I was trans or like have the trans flag or anything like that. So a lot of people got mad with me. Exactly. A lot of people got mad with me, and they were like, wait, why don't you specify that you are a trans man? I'm like, why? Like, what is the point of like specifying? Like,
we're not fucking, you're not in my pants, why do you care?
Exactly. Like, what is the point? If I get like intimate with something, I will probably tell them before anything happens, but on the VTuber community, I don't think anybody cares. So it was kind of like I noticed there was like a misconception of like you have to specify that you're trans or not cis, and I'm like, well, that's kind of fucked up. But after clarifying with myself and being like, hey, I'm proud of one of my I'm proud of me, I'm proud of myself, I'm proud of what I represent, so I don't care about other people think. I'm still a man and I'm still myself. So I decided, yeah, why not? I want to like show my community that I am proud of what I am. And after that, I started putting the trans flag on my bio, and then actually joining or interacting and being part of the trans community and the VTuber community. Because at the beginning I was trying it's not that I didn't want to interact, but I was like slightly afraid to interact since everybody thought I was a cis man. No. So yeah, you always get the background on your mind being like, hey, don't do it, you might get.
Nah, don't let that hold you back. Don't let that hold you back. If that's their issue. If they want to exactly. Cause problems, or they think you're something else, like you don't owe them that transparency. It's not their business. I think it's one of the most annoying things in the trans community, right? People have this expectation to just, well, you should tell me what you are. Like, you don't need to know. You're not in my pants, I don't know you. And if I know you, I know you on a very surface level, And it's just like, I don't get it. Like, I had to tell my community recently that I myself don't have a dick, and they're like, what? Exactly. Like, I don't know.
Exactly. And nobody has to care. Like, what? Exactly. Like, my point is, another thing that I got, like, super, not a scare, but I will say I didn't want it to be, like, attached to that group of people. There was a lot of trans VTubers actually using that as a bait, and I was like, what are you using that to like gain follows or like like promote yourself even more? Like I found it so weird because people were like, hey, I'm trans, you should follow me if you support the trans community. And I'm like, what are you doing that?
It's like that's not your entire personality. Like people are gonna want to follow you for more than you being trans,
Exactly. Don't make that the reason why people follow you. They have to follow because you're entertaining and they like you. At least. So it was always so weird to me that I didn't want it to promote it like that way. Like, hey, I'm trans, but I'm not using it to like gain any condescending out of that. So yeah, that was another thing that was bothering me at the beginning too.
That's such an interesting experience that you've had, because I think I I don't know many other people who are trans male, right? It's a lot of trans femmes in the community. And so meeting, trans men is very, very slim chance. And well, I originally identified as trans male. Nowadays, I consider myself more gender fluid. But it's interesting because there isn't a lot of attention on trans men in the community, or in most communities, really, on the online space. Like usually you stick to your own, you stick to your own circles of other trans men, but even then, other trans men are mean to each other. I don't understand why. So it's hard to meet other people like that, and it's just weird to then use that as a means to gain an audience, but then you're getting an audience for the wrong reasons.
That's what I thought.
More power to you if you want to be known as trans male, right? But then it has that expectation of, then people expect you to announce that you're trans male. Well, why aren't you proud of being trans? Well, it's not your business,
Exactly.
You're not owed transparency, but you're also not owed, that I, pass. You're not owed me passing either, It's I don't know, that kind of thing. It's just people expecting things out of you that you don't owe to them and you don't have to do, And I'm sorry you've had those experiences.
Hey, it's fine. I have a lot of support too. Once I, actually said it. A lot of friends actually interacted and got close to me because they related to me in some point, or they thought I was, kind of relatable, which is weird, but here we go.
Yeah, well.
We have everything in this community. But again, I feel a lot better now with that topic. After the first year, everything started to click, and I started to hey, you know what, I don't care if you stop following me because of what I am, or because you don't like what I am. I'm not here for the follows or the views or anything. I'm here just to have fun with the people that really wants to interact with me and then being close.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not even putting any effort on the people that is hating because of trans, or stupid.
Yeah, they are stupid. Fuck them. Don't actually fuck them, but fuck them. They wish. Anyway. So would you say that VTubing has helped you discover more about yourself?
Oh, absolutely. I actually realized after a couple of months on VTubing that there was a lot of stuff about me that I didn't know.
Yeah?
Yeah. There was a lot of stuff that I wasn't even sure that I liked until I started doing it as a VTuber. For example, sharing with more people, or watching an anime on my server with, I don't know, 10 or 12 people, and then after that comment about the anime. And it was weird on a way, because I was what the fuck, I'm 26 and I don't know myself or the stuff that I like.
That's completely normal.
Yeah, but it was such a weird realization, because before I started VTubing, I was so sure that I know myself, and I know what I want, and I know what I want to be. And it was so weird being hey, well, maybe that's not all. So yeah, I realized a lot of stuff, good and bad stuff about me. I'm again trying to fix the bad stuff, or
Yeah.
at least try to make it better. But I'm actually loving the good things about myself that I discovered while I was streaming and VTubing and interacting with a lot different people from a lot different backgrounds and stories. And it's kind of fun. You learn something different every day. Is kind of interesting. But yeah, I have discovered a lot more about myself. Even the fact that I had to pick up different details for my new model, it was...
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting design journey there, actually. You went from being heavily leading as a femboy to a very masculine-looking fennec fox. It's really cool. It was really nice also being able to be there for the transformation. So
Yeah. I feel like
Seeing
I
you floating
still
around Twitter.
I'm still a lot of my feminine way in a way, because again I don't exclude feminine things just because I'm trans. I actually embrace them, to be honest, and I slightly like them too, which I didn't know I could like myself as in the body I am right now, despite anything. And I have actually realized that while VTubing, that I'm not, so I was so hateful against myself before starting VTubing. And I kind of have learned how to, love myself more and be a little bit gentle with myself too. Because I was super rude with myself and a lot of judgmental. And now I'm like, hey, you're chill. Just, you don't do your own pace. Go ahead, bro. You got it. I'm encouraging myself.
It's very interesting to hear that, considering the way I perceived you on Twitter, and seeing the way, interactions I've had with you. You seem to be a very confident person who seems very, very sure of themselves. So it's surprising to hear that you didn't have that confidence. Yeah, it's surprising to hear that you didn't have that confidence. And I think one thing my partners taught me, right, is when it comes to wanting to be, a better version of yourself, is take, a character that you like and the qualities of and that you want to imitate, right? And learn by imitating that, even if it's only certain parts, right? And so I think in a way, perhaps VTubing is a bit like that, right? Where you take a character and there's these qualities you imagine your character to have, and at some point you start to realize that the line between you and your character perhaps isn't that wide anymore.
Yeah. It is that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool though.
Yeah, it's nice. It's less scary than just bettering yourself in general. Now it's well, let me put it onto this character first, and now I'm acting as this character, and suddenly, months later, you realize, wow, I basically
that's myself.
all these good qualities in this character that I really like. Yeah, exactly. You become.
I actually realized that I didn't had to be a character to be Skylar, because again, Skylar was just me. Not disclaiming anything against people that actually use a character while they are streaming.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like
that's
the best
choice,
exactly. I feel like the best way to know yourself is just being yourself. I mean, sooner or later, people is gonna realize who you really are, because you can't hide that forever. And if you're a good person, exactly, it is very tiring to put on a mask all the time, because sometimes you can't, and that's okay. You can still, stream while you're not feeling your 100%, and that is okay. And if your community can accept that, I think you have built the best community. So I feel very, very proud of my journey, because I was not, and I say this every single day of my life, I was not expecting the amount of success that I have had in this community. And I really appreciate the community that I have built myself, and the people around me that is willing to learn and appreciate the time I spent with them. And is very, warm to come from the real world, tired and not feeling your best, and being hey, I can just stream like this and feel a lot better just by talking with my chat or my community, because they know that I'm not a character. I can't have bad days, and being quiet sometimes, and that's perfectly fine. They will still be there, and we'll still chat and hang together, and that's kind of cool. That's kind of the community I'm very proud that I have built, and I'm happy with it. I really am, despite not being from the biggest VTubers. But hey, you know what? I feel like everybody has their own pace, and everybody's building their community the way they want. And not everybody has to be, the top of the top, because come on, there's people for everything. And I really like that. I actually enjoy more watching my really indie and small friends streams than some big VTuber corpo VTubers or stuff like that. I really enjoy like interacting with people that actually enjoy interacting with me. And that's kind of what I appreciate about this community and the people around me, you know. It's kind of cool.
Hell, kind of cool is an understatement. I'm glad that you've had such positive experiences though, despite all like, you know, all the troubles that you went through and all the hate and people just not understanding you. At the end of the day, you still have a home to come back to, you know? So what would you say to somebody who was looking at VTubing as an option to being their truest self in content creation?
I will tell them to go for it. If you feel like you can slightly go for it, then do it. Like, don't stop yourself with anything. Don't let anything stopping yourself, or like don't put your own barriers to not do it. You know, just give it a try.
That is the end goal, right? It's just to make sure people know that like at the end of the day, you can think about it all day long, right? But you know, if you want to be your truest self and content creation is something you're interested in, you know, there really is no harm in just trying, even if it's with something free, you know?
Exactly. You don't have to have the best model. You don't have to have the best, you know, alerts or backgrounds or anything. Like, just give it a try. Like, a PNG is amazing to start with. Even static, you know, GIF that you found online. I have seen people doing that. Like, just, you know, they grab a funny dog picture and they cut it and they made face move, and you know that you can do that too. It's fine. You can start whatever you want, but just don't stop yourself from trying with the excuse that you're not gonna be successful. You don't have to be successful to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's like interesting because I think you tend to take VTubing as sort of just having fun and being yourself, right? And just exploring and having fun with friends and making a little community for yourself. And some people choose to go in the direction of taking it super seriously and, you know, going like maybe even full corporate, right? But I don't know. It's always nice to see your posts and see your community that you've built up, because it really just feels like a little home that you've made for yourself and the people around you.
Yeah, I feel safe with them, and I'll actually make sure that they feel safe around me and on my space, because you know that's what it's about. Like, from people feeling safe to see you or watch you and just being around you, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And so, is there anything else that you want to add, that you want people to know about your story and your experiences before I end the recording?
I'll just wrap it up like that. Just be yourself, guys. Don't try to put on a mask, because the mask is not gonna be up forever or all the time. And you know, you want people to be around you because of you're yourself. You know, you're not a character, person behind the mask that they don't know about. You want people to get close to you and be close to you and know you for who you are. So just go ahead and just be yourself.
Hell yeah. Fuck everything else, be yourself. Fuck bitches, get money. No, I'm kidding.
Have fun.